This is the WWE NXT October 17, 2023 full show results video, and the show started with the 10-team Bada Bing Bada Boom Tag Team Battle Royal match, and Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo and Chase U, Andre Chase and Duke Hudson, moved on to the 2-on-2 tag team final section of the match. Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo and Chase U goes to the second phase of the match. Meanwhile, the tag champs the D'Angelo family are watching and eating spaghetti, and the result of this match was Chase U won the match by pinfall with a Rana pin from Andre Chase on Humberto Carrillo, becoming number 1 contenders to the NXT Tag Team Championship. Back from the commercial, we get another Lexus King vignette where he talks about hearing everyone's positive stories about his dad and lying that he loved his dad too, but he never knew him. Then Carmelo Hayes makes his entrance, and he talks about being in the ring with John Cena and standing shoulder to shoulder with The Undertaker, and he feels like he's living in a video game. Baron Corbin comes and tells Melo that he thought Hayes was different, but he was wrong. Maybe if he concentrated on being a superstar rather than a fan, he'd still have his title. Donovan Dijak comes and says last week was historical, but before Cody Rhodes finished up as general manager last week, he made one last decision, and that's that tonight's main event is a 4-way and not a 3-way. And the last competitor comes Trick Williams. We get some more bickering. Baron calls Trick's pants ugly, and he talks about how this is his moment, all while Carmelo has a concerned look on his face. Williams tells him it doesn't change anything, but Corbin says it changes everything, and Hayes is clearly shook. Hayes says he won't let any of them throw him off his game because he knows who he is and who Trick is and what it takes to win the title. They clear the heels out. Carmelo fakes out like he's going to attack Williams, but when he turns around he acts like nothing's happening. Then we saw the NXT Women's Breakout Tournament first round match between Jada Parker vs Carmen Petrovic, and the result of this match was Carmen Petrovic won the match by submission with Code of Silence. The next match happened between Lyra Valkyria vs Tegan Knox, and during the match, Chelsea Green and Piper Niven appeared to distract Natalya. Tegan came out to help before remembering she was in the middle of a match, and she came into the ring, and Lyra with a reverse roundhouse kick, and won the match by pinfall. Becky appears on the Tron and congratulates her on her win and says she's been watching for years and remembers getting sent videos about how Valkyria was gonna be a star and she knew she was the first one she wanted to see in NXT, not because of who she is, but because she's really, really good. But Lynch is better, and when you come for the title, you come for the reason she leaves her house, the reason she leaves her daughter. She's fighting for her whole life. You can say it's a dream match, but in that ring Lyra will have to despise her, because that's the only way she'll stand a chance. Back from the commercial, Gigi Dolan talks about how much she likes Halloween and spins the wheel to find out what kind of match she'll have against Blair Davenport next week. It's lights out. We get a medical update for Von Wagner, where we see him in physical therapy. He's getting frustrated, but Robert Stone is with him, encouraging him every step of the way, telling him he knows that when he's 100% he's gonna finish it. The next match happened between Kiana James vs Shotzi Blackheart, and the result of this match was Shotzi Blackheart defeated Kiana James by pinfall when Roxanne Perez digs around in James' bag, fakes out with it so referee D.A. Brewer checks it, and Shotzi hits diving senton. We cut elsewhere, where Trick Williams is on the floor in agony next to a knocked-over road case while referees check on him and Carmelo Hayes throws chairs around all angry his pal got, and we go to break, and back from commercial, we get an update from the parking lot that Trick Williams has been ruled out of tonight's main event and are informed we have no updates as to who may have attacked him. Then Dominic Mysterio is interviewed backstage, and he says he didn't know who Nathan Frazer was until he stepped up to him and he's done wasting time with him. So of course, Frazer rolls up and just starts beating his ass while a crowd of assorted superstars cheer him on, and the brawl ends up in the ring and Nathan just keeps beating ass until eventually Rhea Ripley saves her boy. Shotzi Blackheart and Roxanne Perez are walking backstage and Shotzi talks about how Roxanne has grown since they first met. They come up on the wheel and Perez asks if she can spin it. Shotzi says sure, and it comes up as a Devil's Playground match, and Roxanne says it'll be Kiana's hell. Then we saw another NXT Women's Breakout Tournament first round match, and this time it's between Ariana Grace vs Brinley Reese, and the result of this match was Ariana Grace won the match by pinfall. Back from the commercial, Braun Breaker is interviewed, and he says last week was such a big show entirely because of him, and Robert Stone rolls up. Stone tells he can't get the image of Breaker smashing Wagner with the steps and he wants to make him pay for what he did, and Braun tells him to do something about it and Stone challenges him to a match at Halloween Havoc. In the main event of the show, we saw a triple threat match between Baron Corbin vs Carmelo Hayes vs Donovan Dijak to become the #1 contender for the NXT Championship, and the result of this match was Carmelo Hayes won the match by pinfall with a lateral press on Donovan Dijak, becoming number 1 contender to the NXT Championship. Post-match, Hayes calls Ilya Dragunov out down the barrel of the camera while commentary hypes up next week's show for us. We see Lyra Valkyria watching backstage, and she turns and pulls a photo of her and Becky Lynch off her locker and tears it up. The screen changes to show Jade Cargill tapping her watch as Lyra leaves, and the show goes off the air.